2 Fridays ago was when Deshaun Watson found out that he wouldn't be indicted on any of the 9 criminal charges that were presented in Harris County, Texas. And that opened the floodgates for teams to pursue Deshaun Watson. And I think everyone got caught up in a spirit of competition, 4-way tug of war. We as the media got caught up in it. I know I was guilty of it and lost sight of the fact that there's another aspect to this. And once he picked the Cleveland Browns, the other pot that had been pushed to the back burner started to boil, and it got moved to the front burner, and that's become the focal point. And here we are 1 week later with the Browns, maybe not coincidentally, picking Friday afternoon for what should have been a happy occasion, should have been a triumphant moment, should have been the start of something new for a franchise that, when it comes to the quarterback position, has been lost in the wilderness since it came back to the NFL in 1999. What was your overall takeaway, especially as a Browns fan growing up? What was your takeaway of what we saw today?
Yeah, Mike, I've spent, I guess, the past 2.5 hours, however long it's been since that press conference ended, kind of trying to figure that out. I've gone back, I've listened to answers, I wrote a post on PFT, I texted some people, and I guess the first thing is that Deshaun Watson maintains that he has not done anything wrong. And at my most generous interpretation of everything that's happened over the course of the last year plus, and I'd at least say that there is a troubling pattern of behavior that, at least publicly, he is yet to acknowledge. All right. And then I don't know if that anything short of criminal charges, that there was anything that would have stopped the Browns from pursuing and then trading for Deshaun Watson. So I guess those are the two things that at least come to mind at first when I think about what it was that we saw and we heard today out of Cleveland.
And I agree with you. I don't come at it from the perspective of anyone that was ever really a Browns fan. The closest I came to being a Browns fan was when I got my very first electric football set when I was 10 years old. It was Steelers-Browns. Those were the two teams that were included in the packet from Tudor Games. But I just think it was sad. It was unfortunate. I wonder whether they seriously considered just not having a press conference. And when the statements were issued last Sunday afternoon, some may have assumed that that's all they were going to do. And they would have been criticized for it, but it would have blown over quickly and people would have understood and everybody would have moved on. I don't know that anything that happened today will make anyone feel differently than they already did. Nothing that was said today will make anyone who had misgivings about Deshaun Watson becoming a member of the Browns feel any better. So it was a waste of time, frankly. There was no net gain for the team. They checked the box, if that's what their objective was. But I don't think they changed anyone's mind. And I'll go back to what I said last Friday, Myles, when the news was still fresh that Deshaun Watson had picked the Browns. Settle these cases. Mm-hmm. Make your reckoning. Give the individuals who have sued you for sexual misconduct during massage sessions a sense of justice and move on, whatever it takes. You got a new contract September of 2020 that paid $40 million a year. You've played one season of football since then. Now you've got $230 million fully guaranteed over 5 years. Find a way. You've got a good lawyer. Find a way to resolve this. Yes, Tony Busby would expect a hell of a lot more when he sees the urgency to get it done. That's part of the reckoning. That's part of how it's been handled to this point. That's part of what you have to do, because I think it was incumbent on Deshaun Watson. I think it was a failure of Watson and his advisors to not get these cases settled before he has to sit before the media in Cleveland. Kudos to the folks who cover the Browns. Not that I doubted, given the serious nature of the allegations against Watson, that it was going to be Softball Fest 2022, but they came after the folks appropriately. Not too aggressively, but it definitely was not an easy 45 minutes. The only one that got off easy was Kevin Stefanski, because he got maybe one question, football-related. Andrew Berry got all the tough questions for the Browns, and Deshaun Watson got a few tough questions, but he had his talking points ready, and you and I have corresponded about this. He had to have talking points because there's still litigation. He can't get up there and start detailed questions because anything he uses in that context is going to be used against him by Tony Buzbee in the 22 civil lawsuits. So you heard the same, I never disrespected, harassed, etc., assaulted any women, and I was raised by a single mother and my 2 aunties, and that came up 2 or 3 times. That was written on a card and memorized by Deshaun Watson. Again, that's fine, but we didn't really get much from him because of that.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.